Hello my friends, Caleb Wright here, creator of Bitcoin Lifestyles Club, and recently I've been getting a lot of inquiry and we've been having a lot of discussion in my community about the potentials of an upcoming Bitcoin fork on August 1st involving UASF and BIP 148. But not only in my community, I've been getting a lot of inquiry about this on social media, and I see people talking about it everywhere, and there's a lot of confusion. And so I decided to present you with my personal game plan to survive and profit from the potentials of an August 1st Bitcoin fork. And so you kind of understand like why it could be forking is that there's kind of multiple solutions that are being proposed by different factions of the Bitcoin community and the miners and how that Bitcoin should be scaled, and there's disagreement. And because of this, there's multiple kind of algorithms that are being proposed for the solution, including UASF, which is a user activated soft fork, and then BIP 148, which is a miner based hard fork. And there's a couple others out there, but we don't need to get too technical on that for this discussion. So there's a very strong potential that Bitcoin is going to fork into 2 blockchains on August 1st or shortly thereafter. And so this could cause a bearish market for Bitcoin, and it's definitely causing a lot of uncertainty. And so we need to take some sort of actions in order to hedge against that uncertainty, whether it's going to thrive from this or whether it's going to go into a bear market. Now I have kind of my ideas of what's going to happen based on history with other coins in their hard forks. I'm going to go into that in a little bit, but first I'm going to talk about what you can do to hedge against Bitcoin entering into a bear market, and that's with diversification into specific high value, high volume altcoins. And the ones that I'm focusing on are Litecoin and Stratus. Litecoin has shown in this bear market that all the altcoins you've been watching go through, Litecoin has been holding stable. It's actually been kind of in its own world in regard to the rest of the altcoin market. It's kind of been in its own bull cycle, which I'll show you in a chart a little bit later. Stratus is just another solid option for the long term that seems to have hit a floor and has shown a nice reversal just recently in the past couple days. So this is another option for me between these two. I'm more heavy on Litecoin, but Stratus is a good, safe, conservative option to diversify into, by my opinion. Now, let me remind you with my disclaimer here that this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. This is how I'm preparing. And diversification out is one of the options. Another option is to cash out a certain percentage of your Bitcoin into either US dollars or into USD Tether, so that if Bitcoin does drop, then you can pick some more up lower and average down and make some money when it grows back, whenever it reaches its next bull trend. Another thing you have to keep in mind for August 1st is that you need to have whatever Bitcoin you are going to hold through August 1st in the right place where you actually have access to the private keys, so that in the event that the blockchain does split and there's 2 Bitcoins out there, that you get all the Bitcoins that you're entitled to. Because that's the really cool thing about Bitcoin actually splitting. We don't necessarily have to be scared of it as long as we prepare properly. It's going to be a good idea to hold some Bitcoin through this. At least I believe it is going to be, based on what I've seen in the past with another coin I'm going to mention to you that's had a split like this and produced another coin. It actually produced a success in the market over the long term, a big success. And so that's why I see value in having some Bitcoin in the right kind of wallet on August 1st moving forward, to make sure that you get the Bitcoins that you're entitled to if the blockchain does split. So my recommendation for where to store your Bitcoin will be in a cold storage wallet like the Ledger, Nano S, or any of the Ledger type of wallets, or any of the Trezor wallets. These cold storage wallets both support BIP 148. If it goes through, it's likely to cause a chain split. And so if it goes through, they will support the new blockchain that comes into existence, and they will make sure that you get your coins. The other way to do it is you can have a paper wallet, and then there's going to be some steps online you'll be able to find, and I'll provide it to my community when the time comes in order to retrieve your coins. Some exchanges, now I would definitely recommend get into a cold storage wallet rather than an exchange for this, but some exchanges like Poloniex and Bittrex will also create an entry if there's a blockchain split and give you the coins, because they've done it before when this has happened with another major coin. I'm going to get into a little little bit of that story in just a moment. If you don't have time to get a cold storage wallet, because the problem has been in the past month or so, they've been on back order, and you might not be able to get it in time if you didn't order it yet and you don't have it on the way. And so second priority options of wallets out there that support BIP 148 are Electrum, Samurai Wallet, and Exodus. You can find each of these by Googling, do your research to decide which one you would like to use to secure your Bitcoins for this. But these 3 wallets have announced public support for the BIP 148 and should be safe places for you to put your Bitcoin in order to make sure that it's just secure and that you also get the other Bitcoins you're entitled to if the blockchain splits. So basically, you need to be prepared to not send or receive Bitcoin on August 1st and for a short time thereafter. And you're probably gonna see some news articles, plus we'll be talking about it in my group, about when it's okay to start sending and receiving Bitcoin again. Now, the reason why is because you could actually lose Bitcoin during this hard fork if you're sending it, because there's a thing called replay attacks and double sending. And then there's also the fact that if you send before all the dust settles with the blockchain split, when you send the Bitcoin to another recipient, then you're also sending the other Bitcoins that should have been yours if the blockchain splits and there becomes 2 Bitcoins. You just want to make sure you have all your Bitcoins safely together in one spot where you control the private keys, or from a service that is actually announced to support BIP 148 like the ones I mentioned here, to make sure you get your coins and wait until it's safe to send Bitcoin again. Now that we spoke about that, I want to talk to you about why you shouldn't be scared of the Bitcoin fork, but look at it as an opportunity. For me to help you to understand that, we're going to look at Ethereum. Back in 2016, it had its own chain split. So what we see is it reached this high here. Actually, I'm going to back up just a little bit. It was in March, it reached its all-time high, 2016. And then there was an investment stage in an Ethereum blockchain ICO called the DAO, which started around, it might have been a couple months through this area here to this peak, where that actually drove the value of Ethereum up because people were purchasing Ethereum in order to invest in the DAO ICO. And this peak is like a double top here, pretty much, even though this first one's a bit higher. But basically, in just 1 year, Ethereum had increased by about 5,000% up to this peak here that was in March. And of course, it almost reached it again here at the peak of the DAO investment stage, which ended in late May. After the DAO investment stage closes, Ethereum starts selling down, so there's not as much reason for people to purchase it because of the speculation bubble that ended investing into the DAO. And so then we have on June 17th, the DAO was actually hacked for about $33 million, about 1/3 of the Ethereum that was invested into the DAO ICO, which was about $100 million, the largest ICO in history. At that point, this caused market panic, and Ethereum continued to lose its value with a flash crash to less than half of the March 2016 all-time high. Basically half of this high right here brought the value of Ethereum down to half of the value that it was up in this area. Then by June 20th, the Ethereum chain splits with a hard fork. So the developers, Vitalik Buterin and the developers of Ethereum, decide to fork the chain and basically ruin the immutability of the Ethereum blockchain by rolling it back to regain the funds that were lost by investors. And the certain members of the Ethereum community rejected this and released Ethereum Classic. When the Ethereum developers forked the chain, they basically launched what was called Ethereum Classic, and that came into existence. And then we had 2 Ethereum coins, Ethereum Classic being the original blockchain with the stated purpose of having an immutable blockchain, so not going to be forked or have changes, even though they did have a minor technical hard fork just like a couple weeks into the existence of Ethereum Classic. There hasn't been any more since then, and there will be no more. In that slight hard fork, they added development improvements to the security of Ethereum Classic blockchain as well. So that type of hack that happened to the DAO on the Ethereum blockchain will never happen again on the Ethereum Classic blockchain, for example. The point of all this is that when they did the hard fork and Ethereum Classic came into existence, okay, things got better. Ethereum kind of regained in a few days almost half of the value it lost, but it kind of bounced back down, almost down to where it was. And as you see, it kind of has a not very exciting market, kind of fluctuating in this range here. But if we just move forward a little bit, many of you that were in the cryptocurrency industry during this time, you remember Ethereum had a very painful bear market after this. It even went to a value that was lower than it had dipped to when the DAO was hacked. So I had friends who had invested quite a bit into Ethereum during this time, and fortunately they held on to Ethereum knowing that it would just going to be another part of the market cycle and that it would come back. And finally, towards the end of 2016, it reached as low as it was going to go, and then in 2017 it starts picking up again, and then finally in March it continues to rise to new all-time highs to where we are today, considerably higher than it was when it forked. So Ethereum ultimately went to new all-time highs eventually after experiencing a hard fork. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum Classic. I'm just gonna go back to the beginning of the chart and just show you how Ethereum Classic started in the market. Here it is the first day. We're on the one-day candlestick charts. As you see, there was some crazy volatility as it enters the market, and there's price discovery, which leads us to this point right here where it then grows substantially again, but then enters a long-term bear market for not quite a year, 2016 to into 2017 here, where you see the Ethereum Classic market starts to pick up after kind of bouncing around at the low of the bear market that it experienced after its launch. And then as you can see, through 2017, Ethereum Classic has really grown. And so all in all, if you combine the market cap of Ethereum and Ethereum Classic together, it's massive. It's way more than it would have been if it was just Ethereum and it never forked. So basically, ultimately what it comes down to is that the people that had Ethereum when it forked, they received as much Ethereum Classic as they'd have in their Ethereum wallets. There was a way for them to go claim their coins from the other side of the blockchain of the coin split and have Ethereum Classic. For example, anybody that had Ethereum on Poloniex or Bittrex, those are two of the biggest exchanges out there, and they support coin splits like this. From what I understand, they did it with Ethereum, and I hear they're going to do it with this one as well if it happens, even though I would still recommend better to keep your Bitcoin in one of the recommended wallets outside of exchanges, but it should be good there too in Poloniex or Bittrex. So ultimately, the people that kept both of these coins, they would have been in position for long-term massive gains with Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. If they just held on to both of their Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, maybe even they bought more when it was down at these lows, right? Because they believed in it enough to hold on to it and suffer the pain anyway, so why not grab some more at the lows? Whoever did that made massive gains. And this is basically why I think that this can be an opportunity for Bitcoin holders, and I think that a very similar thing can happen for Bitcoin, except for we have an inherent difference in why each of these coins forked. Ethereum forked because it was hacked and the developers decided to do something to change the blockchain, therefore kind of like ruining the whole purpose of cryptocurrency, which is that whatever happens for transactions, it can never be changed. The blockchain is immutable, it's unchangeable. That way you can rely on it. It's not like a central bank where you keep your fiat money and they can make all the changes they want to it, roll back transactions and screw you from a centralized power standpoint. So that's where Ethereum kind of has that risk, whereas Ethereum Classic is the original blockchain and has never had any changes and should never have any moving forward as the stated purpose of the coin and the people that are supporting it for the developers. So again, this is not financial advice. I personally believe it's a strong part of my diversification for August 1st is to be holding some Bitcoin so that in case that it splits, I can get some of the other Bitcoin that is produced. Now I want to show you why I'm really excited about Litecoin as a diversification for August 1st. Now all around, I'm just really excited about the potentials of Litecoin being one of the top high volume, high value coins in the market right now with incredible fundamentals behind it. We're just going to take a look at the recent market of Litecoin from basically March of this year in 2017 through till now. We've had an incredible bull market. There was the activation of SegWit, which kind of brought on the growth of Litecoin through this year. So what we have is this first bull cycle here, which is marked by 3 waves upwards. So what we have is the first impulse upwards where it reaches this peak, then it goes back down right here to this low, does another growth impulse upwards, comes back down to a low. So that's 1 wave, 2 waves, and then it hits a new all-time high up here where that the market won't support this value and it bounces it back down. What we have here is a typical bull cycle. It has usually 3, sometimes 4 waves upwards. So we see it has the 3 wave upwards, then it corrects back down, as usually happens after you go through 3 or 4 waves of bull market. It has a correction for about a month or so, and the previous resistance levels of this area here before it broke out on the 3rd wave up becomes a new support level right here in the bottom of the bearish correction, and then consolidates for another massive surge on what I think very possibly could be another 3 waves up for Litecoin. Now, as we see, it went up 1 wave and came down in this area. Former kind of resistance became a new support right here. It goes up another wave and then comes down to where we currently are. It might still come down a little bit more. We've been kind of looking at Litecoin in the past week, kind of in this area here, as it's kind of been fluctuating in this range, given some short-term trading opportunities, but also with the outlook that Litecoin could do a 3rd wave up to a new all-time high anytime. Litecoin's kind of in its own bull market. It's ignoring the rest of the altcoin market right now, and it's been growing and holding its own despite the decimation that's been happening on a lot of the other smaller coins that are out there. And so there's something else here that I think can help it reach this 3rd wave up, is that on August 1st, which is in very interesting timing, it's the same timing as the Bitcoin fork. On August 1st, there's an announcement of a Litecoin project by the Institute of MIT. So we'll go to this page here. This is the litecoin.mit.edu site, and you see there's a countdown of a new Litecoin technology to be released by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and apparently you can tip them with some Litecoin and you can send your inquiries to this email address. The whole technology of it is going to be released on August 1st. I guess we'll find out more then, but if you ever had a news event for a coin that's going to be serious, this is definitely one. This is definitely a serious kind of fundamental news event for Litecoin that could absolutely help it reach a new all-time high. And then, of course, it will probably have another bear correction, because that would be 3 waves. Once it hits up here, it'll probably do another thing like this and come back down probably to around this level would be my estimate. But I believe that Litecoin is kind of an undervalued asset long term. It's going to be like the next Ethereum, but it's going to be a lot better. And the reasons why I believe that is because, one, Litecoin actually has a limited finite supply, like Bitcoin. Okay, they both have finite supplies. Ethereum actually has no cap on the amount of currency that can ever be produced in the Ethereum blockchain. It actually has infinite possible Ethereum that can ever exist. So this is one big reason why I believe that Litecoin will eventually outpace and outperform Ethereum. And there's also really strong fundamentals behind Litecoin. It's exhibited the similar type of growth patterns as Ethereum has. This is a strong option. Charlie Lee is one of the head developers, a former head developer of Coinbase. Soon after, Charlie Lee left Coinbase to work full-time on his Litecoin project. Litecoin was subsequently added to Coinbase, one of the largest exchanges that get in and out of key cryptocurrencies via fiat currency. And that was another thing that happened around the time when Ethereum had the hard fork. It was somewhere around that time of 2016 where it was also added to Coinbase, which was kind of like a long-term bullish fundamental. And so Litecoin also had that this year. And so I could really see Litecoin just kind of following in the footsteps of Ethereum, but actually doing way better than Ethereum. And so that's kind of also me looking at the past and seeing what happened with other markets and coins and looking at the current markets and seeing what can happen. I see similarities in these fundamentals between Litecoin and Ethereum, but Litecoin seems to have some serious advantages. And so I hope you found some value in my analysis of the upcoming August 1st Bitcoin hard fork in my game plan, and hopefully that'll help you figure out how you're going to prepare. And last but not least, we're just going to take a quick look at what I think that this will all kind of implicate for Bitcoin. I have the 1-day candlestick chart here for Bitcoin, and we had kind of a trend line that had formed, but as of about 4 days ago, or about 5 days ago, as you can see 5 candlesticks back, it broke below that, and now it's kind of testing this area here, and it might go down further. Right now it's 2164 on Bitstamp, and it's looking a bit grim for Bitcoin in the short term right now. Some speculators out there think that seeing Bitcoin drop down to 2,000 would be the gateway to being able to then rise to an even higher high. We don't know that for sure yet, but I think right now what's happening personally is that there's the uncertainty in the Bitcoin market because of August 1st, and we really have to see what's going to happen moving forward after August 1st. See if Bitcoin's going to fork or if one of these scaling solutions is actually going to work out. And so if that Bitcoin forks and becomes two coins, it's most likely going to end up in a situation like we saw on the charts with Ethereum, where it went into a bear market and it lost maybe 60% or more of its value, but it eventually came back and rose to a new all-time high. Now, I don't know if it will be as severe with Bitcoin because Bitcoin has a lot of increasing global demand. A lot of countries that have been going mainstream with it, like Japan and Australia, they even eliminated their use tax. Other countries that are coming online, like Russia and China, there's significant reasons for Bitcoin to not have as bad as a bear market. So that remains to be seen. But if that one of the scaling solutions implements and works and actually improves Bitcoin, it could be bullish for at least short to mid term, and we'll see what happens after that. But that's basically the outlook on Bitcoin. Just basic, not going to get too complicated here with patterns, but that's the basic outlook on Bitcoin. And so this is why selling out to some fiat, some percentage of your holdings, or going to USD Tether is not the worst idea as part of an all-around strategy. If you're still out there trying to figure things out on your own, I would suggest stepping your game up and checking out bitcoinlifestyles.club. This is my course I've developed. It's a comprehensive course about trading the cryptocurrency markets, and it has basically everything that you would ever even think of you could learn and more, and how to maximize your ability to profit from these markets and take advantage of these market cycles that I was just explaining to you when looking at Litecoin, for example, and what happened with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. There's going to be a link underneath the video as well so you can get to this page. So when you come here to bitcoinlifestyles.club, you should check out this video right here at the top, because I'm going to go over all the topics that you're going to learn in the course. So check this video out real quick, and you can also get a quick rundown of all the topics in the course by going to the syllabus right here. And it's only a mere 0.1 Bitcoin one-time fee for lifetime access to get involved in my course that I'm constantly learning new things too and producing new content. So I'm constantly going to be adding value to this as well. There's already massive value with over 60 videos of training on not only the basics, but I am providing the kind of advanced training that the people out there that you want to become advanced traders, you're already doing pretty good, but you want to step it up to another level. I got all the training for you on technical analysis and trading strategies. But also, not to mention, we have our private chat group community on Slack, and we have a 24/7 conversation going. We've been talking about this subject, the Bitcoin fork, how to plan for it for the past couple months. I actually have a channel that's completely for the Bitcoin fork. You see right here in the channels, I have all types of different, actually this is like way better than having like a Telegram chat or a Skype chat, because we can organize the conversations by the topics that we'll be talking on, rather than having one running chat where everything kind of gets lost in there. Instead, we're having a more effective thing going on where we're talking about the markets 24/7 in like the trading talk channel here. What we're seeing, our analysis, providing charts. As you can see here, we got some pretty amazing analysis coming from our members, and I drop analysis in as well. Talk about our trades as we do them when we're taking profits. And it's just really useful to be in the flow of the information. We have a channel on discussing ICOs. So if someone finds a new ICO, drops it in there, we analyze it, talk about it, see if it's worth getting into. We have a channel for discussion about the course, and just all sorts of stuff in here that's extremely useful, going 24/7. There's no useless chatter going on in there. This is all value. So would love to see you come into the community, start growing as a trader, get into our chat group, be in the flow of the profitable information of this market 24/7 with people from all over the world, because the chat group I've actually developed over the course of the past few years before I even came out with this course earlier this year, because I knew it was just a powerful way to approach the market with a group of like-minded individuals that are out there studying it, passionate about it, and finding the opportunities to invest into, to trade, and grow our position in this market to become cryptocurrency whales and change our financial futures forever and that of our families and as many people as that we can. And that's the purpose of BitcoinLifestyles.club, is to gain power through knowledge and implementation, to know how to use that knowledge, and to have people there to support you, that are working with you, that we're on the same track. We're in this market, we're experiencing it, and we're maximizing it and doing what we can to help each other, working as a team. So I hope you found value in this video. If on YouTube, please comment and like and share the video, or on Facebook, please do the same thing, any of the social medias. And I look forward to catching you on the inside. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact me via Facebook, or you can also access a form via the contact at the bottom of the website here, and you can send a straight email to me. And I'm there to help you out. I also have a affiliate plan with this course, which you can also sign up at the bottom via affiliate here. You don't need to purchase the course in order to be an affiliate and refer it and earn 30% commissions on any sales that are brought in. So Caleb right here, hope you found some massive value in today's training, in me presenting my game plan on how that I'm approaching August 1st and the possibility of a Bitcoin fork. Caleb Wright from BitcoinLifestyles.club. Catch you on the next one.